Bang! Bang! TAGOE Talk in the building. Yeah, we back!
You know the levels? Gang.
Yeah. You know we here right now with another episode, another special. You can see we're looking prim and proper today.
In all them places there.
In all them places there. Massive it chill.
We come through with a Valentine flavor.
Oh, that's right. We're ready for the dates.
Yeah.
We're ready for the party.
Well, you know, I'm off the market there, but you get me.
But
I still got rejections.
Yeah.
You get me?
See, the gestures are still there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm late for an appointment at the Shard, innit?
The Shard, you know.
I'll see if I have money for it. But anyway,
it's Valentine Day today. Some people will be expecting the Valentines. There'll be a few heartbreaks, a few no-shows, a few one-night stands, and of course, a few falling in love, or falling in lust, or falling in like, whichever one you want.
Whatever you want to call it.
There's an L word in there somewhere. So why Valentine? Why do we celebrate Valentine?
Yeah, man.
But anyway, before we go there, let me introduce myself.
Oh yeah, just in case you don't know who we are, we're looking different today, you know? We're looking different. So
tell them.
On this side,
I'm a charm.
you know?
Me, okay.
Do you hear the
yeah, trying to be
soothing voice?
I'm trying to put on that 11 p.m. voice. I'm a charm.
I'm a chill. Hey, baby.
Me, okay.
Baby girl.
On that side?
And on this side is me, I'm a TAGOE. Me, I'm a TAGOE. You're not tuned to TAGOE Talk, baby.
You're now tuned in to TAGOE Talk. So right now, dim the lights, light the candle, put on that slow R&B sounds, and you're about to go on a whistle-stop tour about Valentine's.
A non-stop cruise on the Valentine's journey with yours truly, Neo Khan and Neo Mateo.
Alright, let's do this.
Let's bring it back. Valentine's Day. Yeah.
Okay, so Valentine, we've done a bit of research as per the usual, because we want to come here informed ourselves, and we have to verify the facts and obviously do a bit of so obviously
information, the facts, the statistics, you know?
Yeah, so of course we had to do our due diligence, and before we come and start talking and waffling and saying whatever, we have to make sure that it's verifiable. So obviously we did our research and we said, okay, Valentine's Day, let's just go back to the history, So
why is it called Valentine?
Why is it called Valentine's? Yeah, why is it called Valentine? Some people say it's because of Saint Valentine.
Some people say it's Cupid.
Cupid,
Some baby, come with the arrows.
Okay, shooting out. Okay. So if you get hit with Cupid's arrow,
fall in love, the love and that.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But I don't think.
I think there's some plagiarism in there somewhere.
It's a bit fake and that. So push it to the side.
Push it in the side, and it makes good cartoons though, when you're watching some animations there. But yeah, Valentine, patron saints, innit? The Roman Catholic faith. At least 3 Valentines or Valentinos. Valentine or Valentinos. At least 3 Roman Catholic patron saints called Valentine.
Yeah, a bit murky, but
yes, the first Valentine, obviously, apparently at the time of what was the year was this? Pope in the reign of Pope Claudius II.
Yep.
He basically decided to outlaw marriages between the younger people, and younger males were not allowed to get married, because he realized that those that didn't have children and wives,
there was a lot more fighting
in them.
They fought for one thing and one thing only.
They fought for the country and they followed his instructions to the core. But those that had families back home, wives and children, obviously needed to stay alive to go back home.
So there was a lot in their mind. They know that they think about the kids, the wives, think about what they need to do when they get home.
Exactly.
There's a lot more thought process into this.
So he decided to outlaw the whole thing. However, there was one priest called Valentine who said, nah, this is a fallacy. This is an abomination.
I will not stand for this.
So he decided to still get them married in secret.
Because to keep that love alive.
Exactly. So this first Valentine was obviously found out, and some believe that he was killed, and that was the end of him. And then we moved to another Valentine, of course. This one was, for he was basically helping to, Christians that were being kept as prisoners in Roman prisons.
Because apparently the Roman prisons back then were
it was peak out there.
Just know that you're happy for a simple sentence.
Guantanamo Bay ain't got nothing on them.
Trust me.
Get me? You're getting tortured. medieval style. You ain't got no jabs, there ain't no tetanus, there ain't no vaccinations. Get me? The conditions there were, to say the least, murky.
just like the information we're giving you.
So yeah, he was basically obviously helping Christians that were being kept in Roman prisons who were being tortured to escape. And naturally, when he was found out as well, you all know how that was. The gelatin, or had gone
off with his head.
And then we have the third Valentine, who apparently himself was actually a prisoner.
Himself. He was writing to his beloved.
And his beloved, on the irony, apparently his beloved was could have been the daughter of one of the prison guards. And on one of the letters that he sent to his beloved, he signed "From your Valentine," and an expression that is still used today, and that is basically what some people believe that "From your Valentine" expression came from.
All these patron saints were a symbol of what was the symbol?
They were sympathetic. They were heroic.
And what was most of all?
And they were romantic.
So that gesture there, these were what the saints, the Valentines carried. That was the image they portrayed, and that's what came down history.
So it made natural sense that obviously the French and the English, who accorded themselves masters of the world, decided obviously during the 14th and 15th century that they will start looking at Valentine, and they were looking at they what's it called? They kind of got themselves closer to the Valentine Day celebrations. They were trying to obviously find a way of Christianizing it.
Christianizing was the word. That was the
word. There's a Christianizing
it. They're trying to Christianize it. But specifically in AD 270.
But they were beaten to it, of course, because there was a Roman pagan festival called Lupercalia. For all my Italian people out there, shout out, obviously, if I'm pronouncing it wrong, just comment there and let me know how the pronunciation goes.
You got it.
I'll try it again. Lupercalia. This was an ancient pagan festival celebrating Faunus. Where you got fauna from, the god of agriculture.
Indeed.
And also this is also celebrating the founders of Rome, Romulus and Remus. And apparently, obviously, when Emperor Gelasius, Emperor Gelasius, he initially obviously was trying to get Lupercalia, wanted to become he was also trying to get it Christianized, basically. And he decided, obviously, February 14th, it was very known to be a pagan festival, so this was actually on February 15th.
See, it wasn't originally February 14th, but it was around the 5th century. That's when things started changing, because they saw it as un-Christian-like. That was the term, roughly. They saw it as un-Christian-like, and then they decided to say, you know what, because of this, we're going to change it to February the 14th. That was when that guy Gelasius.
Okay, that's when Gelasius came in. Okay.
You know, he came and changed the rules, broke the rules, and changed.
Okay, so he moved it a day back, so that the paganism connection.
Christianity was on the rise. As Lupercalia was about.
Okay, so when Lupercalia was about, they had to find a way to obviously. So they moved it a day back, and it became Saint Valentine's Day.
That is when the English and the French.
So man was jumping the gun still. We had to do a little reload and a little relap in it, but you get me, that's why we're here, you get me?
Come back, bring back full circle.
And then, so that we have to get the timeline right, innit?
If you see information that we've said wrong, don't be afraid.
Let us know, innit? You get me?
Because we ain't perfect.
We got romance on our mind, innit? So allow us, innit?
Exactly. You know the day, man. My baby's waiting for me.
You get me? So obviously now we know that Lupercalia has been Christianized, and now February 14th is now Saint Valentine's Day. And as I said, initially Valentine's Day was not. Now it wasn't romance and wasn't the main concern. It was to do with being sympathetic and being heroic, and obviously being romantic in that sense.
But now February 14th is now a day of romance.
It's a day of romance. But in the 1900s as well, the advent of the printing press, that technology helped Valentine gained some notoriety, especially in America. Esther A. Howland, who is obviously known as
she was the first mass producer of Valentine's
Day cards.
Exactly, and she done a lot because it was unheard of. But she would write like the kind of affectionate
write the little sonnets, the poems.
Back then it was kind of like looked down. It was discouraged to express yourself.
Those type of feelings in public, you know. So when you could send it, not necessarily anonymously, but when it was someone that's already written it and you're just signing it and sending it through the post, you took away that kind of involvement in it yourself, innit? So I guess people felt more comfortable doing it that way. And she made a lot of money, and on top of that, she also allowed society to accept sending Valentine's Day cards a lot more. And it's actually, is it the Greeting Cards Association?
Yeah, Greeting Card Association.
Yes, that exists, my people.
Imagine it.
The Greeting Cards Association. They estimated, obviously, from the time of the 1900s to currently now, year on year, it's about 125 million cards.
Sorry. It's 145. 145
145.
million
Damn.
cards. Greeting cards, Valentine cards are sent on a yearly basis.
Second only to Christmas.
Obviously everyone knows Christmas. Merry Christmas, but Valentine's Day is second.
Yes, and what even makes it more interesting, not necessarily to do with cards. 85% of purchases on Valentine's Day or for Valentine's.
Are they by males, isn't it?
No, by women. Woman.
Wait, what?
Womb, man. Rib. Person. Woman. How else do I want to say? Woman from the rib? Yep, 85%.
Wait, what? That doesn't make sense. Isn't it like the guy has to go out there with the flower, the chocolate, roses?
That is what, get me, that's what we're being conditioned. That's the behavior that is expected. But obviously, some men find it quite interesting and find ways of avoiding it. So some women have to be a bit creative.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this is always the case, but in some instances.
This is one perspective.
Yeah, in some instances, people have been known to purchase gifts for themselves and
because they want to
give the impression that it came from a male.
But we don't judge.
Or a secret lover.
The secret lovers is a big thing.
Yeah.
Big thing. Because when you say, someone anonymous gave you this thing, the dopamine effect in your mind, it carries you. It's like someone loves me. I'm feeling loved. I love her.
To that feeling of being loved, you can't escape it. Especially
that's why February 14th is so significant, because it's a day of just absolute love. Yes,
but right now in our current times, it's been commercialized. And it's been sexualized, as per the usual. Obviously, because we alluded to that fact earlier, that sex sells. So it's natural that Valentine's Day, which obviously was to do with being sympathetic, being heroic, and being romantic.
Just values, real values.
It's now
everything has a price.
Being commercial. And being sexual. And the guarantee of some sort of sexual intercourse at some point during that day obviously encourages people to spend ridiculous sums of amounts, and sometimes even go through ridiculous body contortions to achieve this, as you refer to, the holy grail of Valentine's Day. As they say. So why is that the case? Why are we in a position where right now something that obviously had its murky roots, although was trying to promote positive behaviors and trying to promote that kind of romantic gestures, now is something that's now commercial and something that's more sexual. Obviously, a lot of money is made by the card companies and by the chocolatiers, and also by those that sell getaways in hotels and in some romantic destinations.
And the restaurants.
Paris, Venice. Get me.
Paris makes money.
It's encouraging tourism and allowing people to express themselves differently.
And increasing the economic what would you say, stocks and everything.
They're having an economic impact as well. But you can't run away from the fact that senseless, we use the word senseless sex is encouraged.
A bit strong, but we will go there.
Yes, it's encouraged. It's not, encouraged is a bit harsh. It's accepted on that day. Let's say it's accepted. You can turn a blind eye to it. But like, I wasn't on Valentine's, if you did on that day, we'll allow it.
It's slowly becoming a norm, which shouldn't.
You have to have sex on Valentine's Day.
In my opinion, it shouldn't be the case.
If you're in a relationship and if you don't have sex on Valentine's Day, red flags.
That relationship is cancelled. Everything finished. There'll be therefore arguments. 100% arguments.
At least from the male side, anyway.
I spent all this money. I bought the chocolates. I went to the restaurant. I bought her gifts. Bought her a lovely necklace. This and that. I didn't have sex.
Yeah, but as for me, I don't know what Zex is.
I don't know what Zex is. What's that? ZGZ. What's that? I don't know what that is.
But
I was watching, that's why. I was watching me.
But this is a serious concern, and some governments have taken to obviously address this concern because it's impacting the increasing the rates of STDs amongst the relatively young adults in their societies, especially those between 16 to early 30s, or those that were sexually active because of that notion, that impression that Valentine's Day gave. Obviously, within the Western world, there's an history around it, and people have accepted it. But in most developing nations, Valentine's Day was not something that was part of their culture. That notion of celebrating a day set out to celebrate your loved one is alien, because we are trained, or we are brought up to express love in every moment that you can express love. There's no day that has been set out to do this, especially. But naturally, as the world becomes a global village and we're learning more, and then the African presence or the developing worlds, their natives, their presence in the diaspora increases, of course, we're going to take some of these cultures and some of these learned behaviors that we pick up back to our native nations. And obviously, down the years, this has now been hijacked and has been somewhat tainted to mean something else. Rewritten to serve a different purpose. What I'm driving towards is basically in Ghana right now, Valentine's Day, I've been informed from a reputable source that there is a campaign to rebrand it from Valentine because of the negative connotations
associated with it
that I mentioned earlier.
To now,
Chocolate Day.
So you wanna? It's funny actually, because you know, as Ghana is widely known for its chocolate and the cocoa seeds, it makes sense. But however, I'll call it a bit crazy, because you're taking what do you call it, a holiday that you don't even know the actual context or the actual history, and rebranding something that's already been rebranded. So it's just a cascading effect where you're celebrating stuff for the sake of it, not for its actual context.
As I said, they come at it from a different angle, and they're looking at the impact it has on society. Obviously, the day itself has its own history, has its own background, but they're realizing that because of that, call it ignorance or the lack of information and the education out there, people have accepted that Valentine's Day, instead of them doing that history and understanding what it is, they've taken, that's a Chinese whispers. This person said it's this person, and by the time we got to the final person, it's sex. On that day, I buy roses, I buy chocolates, I take her out. That's what I'm doing. Honestly, so obviously that's
why not call it sex day?
That's the narrative now. So the government obviously realizing that it's quite got to a critical stage, they have to do something about it.
It's only because it's affecting them, to be honest.
Of course, so they have to rebrand it, and also it has a secondary effect or a secondary impact. Ghana is widely known for its chocolate producing capabilities, Tete Kwashi, and don't let me even go into singing that Golden Tree song. Golden Tree family chocolates, hey, join the winning family. One flavor a day restores vitality from the best cocoa in the whole wide world. Tete Kwashi ba, aqua I beg. Port and pride. I'm sorry. Take a kiss bites now. Don't get me mad. I got this one.
I'm sorry.
So as I said, we got that heritage for chocolates producing. We got that lullaby. You get me? We got that sing song. So on a serious note though, so Ghana deciding to rebrand Valentine's as chocolate, and the point I'm making is that if any country can do that, Ghana can do that because we have a good chocolate producing heritage. So the whole impact obviously is to reduce that association of Valentine's Day to sex, and also to increase sexual awareness, because on that day or prior to that day coming, they do a lot of sexual awareness campaigns and making sure they're educating people on using and practicing safe sex, the distribution of condoms and femidoms for those if the females also want their versions as well, and then obviously and obviously contraceptives. Let's just call it contraceptives and contraceptives in general. So as I said, it's got to that level now where Valentine's Day is now being rebranded, and maybe in the next 30 years we'll be doing a recap, and then we'll be talking about how Chocolate Day came into existence from Lupercalia to St. Valentine's Day to Chocolate Day. So maybe in 30 years we'll be sitting there and we might be doing a new episode on Chocolate Day. How did it begin?
so we told you let it hear from TAGOE TALK BABYYYY.
So you get me? We've seen the future and we just time traveled in it.
But anyway, what you need to take away from this is that Valentine's Day, as much as it's all about the heroism, the
sympathy, the romance.
Don't celebrate it for the sake of celebrating it. Actually get to know what it is.
Understand what you're doing.
Understand what you're doing, innit?
Don't just follow blindly. Just don't be sheep.
Don't make it a trend. Don't make it a trend where you have to do the most. Because I know so many people would have lost money or are going to lose money.
Yeah, don't go into debt. You get me for this. You get me.
One day, for one night, for one female you don't even know like that.
Yeah, it's time for.
Or but you're doing too much. It dampens the relationship. A lot of things come into play. It all boils down to the relationship you have with the person.
Exactly.
Celebrating Valentine's Day.
There'll be a lot of false love. But maybe I like him, maybe I love him, maybe I love her, maybe
we'll see how it takes when he treats me nice some lobster on Valentine's Day.
A few people will be vulnerable on this day, the guard will be down. They'll be willing to accept anyone that invites them out. So as I said, just be aware. Don't make sure that you have that self-esteem. You know your standard, you know your level. You may want to drop it. You may want to just do whatever feels comfortable, but just understand what you're doing. That day has been set aside to celebrate love. But know that we have an extra 364 days to celebrate love. And of course, at the end of the day, as I said, it's been commercialized and it's been sexualized. Once again, just be in the know. Partake if you must, but just be aware, have that knowledge so that you're informed in your decision making.
And you can make your own decision.
Exactly. So, obviously, TAGOE Talk.
This has been TAGOE Talk.
You know the levels.
Valentine special.
The Valentine special.
You know what time it is. Because don't forget.
Yes.
To like. Subscribe. Hit that bell notification.
Hit that bell icon.
Because you know why? We're ringing right now.
Yes.
My baby's is ringing right now. Because I need to go on, that date's the Valentine's Day. But for now, it's TAGOE Talk, baby.
You know the deal.
We love you.
Our Valentine is coming, no Valentine. Hey, Valentine. Hey, Valentine.
Where's your boyfriend?